Welcome back, and today of course marks the first day of schooling on the schooling calendar across the basic education sphere. And I just wonder, do you remember your first day at school? I was one of those kids who cried. I remember crying, and I cried for many days after day one as well. I was known as that kid. But I wonder if you remember. I remember we had two grade 1 classes, Mrs. Klute and Mrs. Manuel, and there were 52 children in each of those grade 1 classes. That's how overcrowded we were. But I remember that very vividly. Do you? Well, let's find out how it's going across the country. And we cross over to the Eastern Cape now, where they have declared their readiness for the academic year. And the province reached its aim of a 70% matric pass rate last year. And a school at the impoverished Mdantsane Township, Ulwazi High School, has been recording a 100% pass rate since 2013. Hard work, preparation, those are said to be the best ways to prepare, and that is what is at the center of the achievement at the school near East London. Our reporter Yanga Funani is at the school. We're going to cross to him now to find out how this day is panning out. It's day one. Over to you, Yanga.
A very good morning to you, Sakina, and to the Morning Live viewers. You are coming to us live from Ulwazi High School in Mdantsane at NU2, right at the heart of Mdantsane, an area that is marred by high violence, an area that is marred by high substance abuse, but this school is a beacon of hope. It can change the situation around for the best. Now we are joined by the principal of the school, Umama Unomamponomise Kosani. Kosani, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Morning Live viewers.
Ma'am, achieving 100% pass rate for 5 consecutive years can never be a minor achievement. What is the secret behind that?
Hard work, purpose. You need to know your purpose, because if you don't, then there's a lot that will move you. You need to focus on your purpose. You need a plan, a strategic plan, where you know that you set times, where you know that by date X the syllabus will be completed, and thereafter revision and more revision. The effect of revision cannot be overemphasized. You need to motivate, as you have correctly mentioned, the area in which we are. You need to motivate on a daily basis. You need to encourage them. Your learners need to know that, number one, you care for them. Number two, you have to pull out the greatness that is in them. Because despite the fact that there are challenges, these children have greatness. It's only a question of making them aware that there is something that God has put inside you, and that is great despite the factors around you, and that you've got to hammer in on a daily basis, because you are competing with all the social problems around you. So, one of the things that have excited me this year is to see a couple of learners, boys that I almost gave up on them because of drugs. And man, they've got distinctions. I'm so excited for them. Their parents have been crying because at a certain point in time, they never expected that these children would amount to anything. But look at what they've achieved. It has not been easy, as I say. It's a daily war. You have to remind, you have to push, you have to sacrifice. This area is very fortunate in that it has teachers who are prepared to volunteer their time. See, next week, if you come here next week on Monday, This is before school in. But if you come here 7:05 Monday, there will be full school, grade 10, 11, 12 will be here, and there will be teachers. They'll be running so that they complete the syllabus early. And that is where our secret lies.
Okay. Ma'am, I understand that the school went through a dark period between 2009 and 2011. They registered below 40%. Let's talk about that. How did you manage to pull the school out from that quagmire?
Okay. In 2009, I just checked. I think the results were about 38%. 2010, we said we knew who we are. We knew what we could achieve. We checked where our problems were. And then as soon as we located our problems, we targeted them. And we set ourselves goals. I remember we said in 2011 that we were planning that our results go beyond 80%. And we failed. They were only 67.8. It was a bit frustrating. It was better than it was in the previous years, but we had not achieved our target. And then again, we did not give up. We said, okay, we've added 20. Then the following year, at least we will go beyond 95. We didn't. That is in 2012. We didn't. I think we went as far as 92. And then we said, well, if we've had this increase, there's nothing stopping us from achieving 100%. And that vision was sold to children, to parents, everything, every cell, every fiber in every teacher, in every grade 12 child was saying, I'm getting out of this place with a good certificate. And every year, we have not reached the point where we want to reach. I can tell you what we want to reach right now. We want all these children to be to be bachelors, no child in maths and science. We want them to achieve nothing less than 70%.
We will continue, ma'am, with this conversation. Thank you very much for your time. Well, Sakina, that's the story of resilience. People who push hard, push on through difficulties. And it's back to you in Joburg.
Thank you so much, Yanga Funani, and he's just outside East London. And we